Hello, everybody, and welcome to Lattes on My Mind.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Felina. What are we going to be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about a little Scottish folklore. Folklore?
Folklore?
Folklore, the Loch Ness Monster.
Ooh, so grab your lattes and join us for the journey.
Felina, I don't know if you saw my Snapchat yet. I was sitting at my desk doing research for this podcast, and I just keep hearing this music.
I have not. Oh, is it the ice cream van?
The ice cream truck.
I did see that.
I was like, and I told Wesley, and he was like, why is he playing For Elise? And it sounded creepy.
Well, Marshall heard the ice cream van. My throat gurgled, so sorry. He heard the ice cream van go by like yesterday, and it was playing Christmas music.
What?
Yeah.
What? For all of you who know, right now when we are recording, it is September, so
yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
It does not make sense.
I also just thought this sounded like it's not like like a jolly little tune to like be like I want
lure
ice
the
cream.
children.
Lure the children. Like what the heck? I've never gotten anything from an ice cream truck or van.
That's so sad.
It's sad?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I lived out like in the country when I was younger, so we didn't really have one.
That's so sad.
We might have. We lived at like apartments once when I was growing up, and like maybe we did at one point, but I was like 3 when we moved out of there, so I don't remember anything. So
yeah.
What, you have gotten something actually from an ice cream truck?
Yeah.
So has Wes.
Several times.
Dang. It's a van now, apparently.
The ice cream van. Yeah.
The ice cream van, not a truck.
Well, it was always a van.
I know, but don't you usually call it an ice cream truck?
I think you can still call it an ice cream truck.
Okay. I was going to say, I still call it an ice cream truck because it seemed weird to say ice cream van. You know what also can lure you in to Scotland? The Loch Ness Monster.
Whoa.
I'm getting so good at these segues. Can't tell they're forced at all.
No.
So, I've been to Loch Ness. Have I told you that?
No. Yeah, that's right, because you went to Scotland.
Yeah, I went to Scotland, and I saw the Loch Ness Monster. No, there was a stick.
It was a stick.
And I was like, that's her. That's Nessie.
Is.
There she blows.
There she is.
But literally,
she's a lot smaller than I thought she would be.
You can convince yourself that you see things.
Yeah.
You can in the water. And we've talked about this before, kind of like how we don't know. We've talked about it a lot. We don't know much about bodies of water. Mostly the ocean.
Mostly the ocean. Also, we don't know much.
Also
it's the
lakes.
Portals. It's the portals from the mermaids.
And we had talked about this too. Like we feel like we've already talked about the Loch Ness Monster, but it's because you mentioned it in Mermaids.
Yeah.
We keep mentioning doing it, and now we're doing it. And you were like, the other day, you were like, haven't we already done it?
Yeah. I was like, I feel like we've already done the Loch Ness Monster.
We haven't, though. Here we go.
So here she is.
Speaking of the loch. So obviously, Loch Ness is in Scotland. Mm-hmm. A beautiful country. The most beautiful country I've probably been to. It's just, there's nothing like it when you go there. It's really cool. But Loch Ness is located near a place called Inverness, Scotland. If I say that wrong, I'm sorry.
We're not Scottish.
I'm not Scottish. But obviously this is where the beast of Scottish folklore lives, in Loch Ness. And lots of people doubt the real existence of it because, like, obviously it's a very touristy trap sort of thing to do, you know, because it's like, oh, we have the Loch Ness Monster, come see us, and like it brings in a lot of revenue and stuff like that. So that already can cause some like doubt over the whole thing, right? You good?
Yeah, my throat is gurgling. I'm so sorry.
It's the coffee. It's the chai. So there are about, as of right now, there's like an official register of like how many sightings there are of Nessie. And right now, I think it's about around 1,155 to 1,157 official sightings. Official sightings.
Okay. I was like, that feels low.
That's what I thought.
Like a low number.
That's what I thought. But then you have to think like Loch Ness. This is like one location. It's not like all over the world. Like Sasquatch and things like that.
Yeah, that's true. It's just Scotland.
I also thought it sounded low, but I think it's because they kind of like vet it a little bit. Like, what'd you see? Was it with this and this and this? Because as we all know, lots of people see driftwood or like logs.
Like Hannah.
Yeah, it's like, I was like, that is Nessie, and it's a stick, but it's Nessie because it looks like a little head. You can convince yourself of anything, okay? But according to legend, okay, Loch Ness, the actual loch or lake, it's the Gaelic Scottish word for lake.
Okay.
It was created by the goddess and Celtic winter queen, Dark Byra.
Sure.
Can't say it.
Byron.
When her maid, I guess like her lady, I don't know, lady in waiting, her maid, whatever, her name was Nessa. She was late for her work, and the queen got mad at her.
She in trouble.
Yeah. So she apparently turned her into this river Ness. Mm-hmm. But then the girl escapes from the river and I guess becomes the loch. So that's the legend as in for the loch. Like it was a woman that got transformed into this lake. That's how the story goes.
So she is the lake. She's
the
not
lake.
Nessie.
She's not Nessie.
Okay.
That's why, because one was like, oh, this is how Nessie was like made,
Created,
but that's actually the lake itself.
Okay.
So already, this is Scotland. So we've got lots of legends. We got kelpies. We got water horses, and kelpies are the seals. I think, right? Have you heard of that? Like the shapeshifters that shapeshift into seals. Have you heard of them?
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to back up.
Well, I don't know. I didn't go into detail about these because that's not what I'm talking about. But like I've seen a movie once too. It's a bizarre movie. No, you're fine. It's called A Kelpie, and essentially it's a woman, or like I don't know if it's always a woman, that gets transformed into a seal, and it's like a shapeshifter. So it's kind of like the stuff like mermaids. Like they lure people into the lake and they're deadly, but they're beautiful. Oh. Yeah. So I don't know if they're just seals.
They're killer seals.
Yeah. But anyway, maybe we'll do one on kelpies one day. I don't know. I might have gotten that wrong. They could be seals. They could be dolphins. I don't know. Anyway, Loch Ness is either the second or third largest loch in Scotland. It's 754 feet deep at its deepest point. And I saw this one video that was like, so if you take the Great Pyramid of Giza and then put the Statue of Liberty on top of it, the Statue of Liberty's like flame will just show above the water.
Oh my gosh.
So like that's how deep it is at its deepest point. Or I saw one with like the Golden Gate Bridge like in it.
Holy cow.
So it's really deep, and it's like 23 miles around, I guess, or whatever you call it. The surface, however they measure lakes, I don't know.
Circumference.
Yeah. And it's apparently really dark because it has a high, it's called peat. It's like a type of soil. It has a large peat content, which makes the water like really, really dark. Yeah. So it's already hard to see in. So take these factors into consideration. Like it's very deep. It's very big.
It's very dark.
Apparently it holds more water than all the lakes in England and Wales combined. This one lake.
What the heck?
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a big lake.
It is huge. And apparently Scotland has like 30,000. They haven't even counted all of them. It has like 30,000 lochs. It's just full of lochs. It's crazy.
Why? Why so many?
I don't know. That I don't know. But it's a lot. I don't know if it's from, I mean, there's no volcanoes in Scotland.
Are all of them like man-made or natural?
They're natural. Yeah, they're natural as far as I know. But anyway, already it is freshwater. Okay, but there are some ways that it has access to the ocean, and we're going to discuss that. Anyway, the first story of Nessie, most of it's modern, but there is stuff from the past, so we're going to talk about the ancient stuff first. In 500 AD, so we're talking like 1,500 years ago.
We're going back.
We're going back. These people called the Picts, Picts, they're called the Picts. I think that's how you say it. They have these carvings near Loch Ness, like in the stones, of something that people have considered an aquatic creature. Okay. That they haven't identified. But like apparently the Picts, from what I remember from watching everything, like they really like to like make carvings of animals and like flowers and things, and they're like really accurate. Okay. So like the other stuff they could identify, but this one they couldn't so much. And apparently it has like, like fins or flippers, and it has like it's long. To me, it did not, I don't have a picture of that one for you, but to me, it didn't really look like an aquatic creature. It looked like a horse, like that was like folded over. It looked weird to me.
Well, but doesn't the Loch Ness monster kind of look like a horse?
What is it? Yeah, kind of, because it's considered like a water horse. Yeah. So it could be that. That's what I'm saying. But it didn't look like how they usually depict it, like longer. You know what I mean? This one was kind of like short almost, but it was on a carving, so it could have been.
Maybe it was little. Maybe it was a baby, a wee baby.
It was the baby one. Which
it was a wee baby.
We'll also talk about some baby possibilities, not from the monster itself, but later down we'll talk about smaller ones. Anyway. Also when the Romans came and invaded Scotland, because they did that at one point, because the Romans, they go everywhere. They also said that the monster that they have been told about, or that they have seen, I don't know which one it was, has a elongated beak, which I think they mean just like its face is like long, and it has flippers and like a spout, I guess like a water spout,
like a whale.
So that's how they described it.
I'm sorry, are you saying Munster?
Monster. Do I say it weird? Monster.
Are you saying Munster?
Munster. That's how I've always said it. I say my O's weird.
You do.
It's the Midwestern O's.
I was like, what?
Well, because Wes always makes fun of me for saying...
Because it sounds like you're saying Munster like M-U-N.
Yeah. That's how I say it.
But you're saying monster.
Yeah, monster.
Okay, I was like, wait.
Great. Now I'm going to be thinking about that the whole time.
Sorry.
Monster.
It's just dialect.
Don't even come at me, Kentucky.
I don't even think that's Kentucky. I think that's just the rest of the world.
I think that's just the correct way to say it. I say my O's weird.
You gotta say it phonetically.
That has been determined.
Yes.
Anyway, after so rudely being... No, just kidding.
Sorry.
Monster.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't like confused on something. I was like... You're
Scottish,
trying to say monster,
monster,
right? Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so the story goes... In 565 AD, there's this Irish missionary that is bringing Christianity to Scotland. Okay, so lots of missionaries during that time. St. Patrick and all that. But his name was
St. Patrick a missionary?
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
yeah. That's why he's called St. Patrick. St. Patrick. His real name is like Maewyn Socket or something. Maewyn Socket. And I forget where he's
from. That's a fun
He's
name.
from Ireland.
Why don't we have Maewyn Socket Day?
Yeah, I know. Why is it St. Patrick?
It's easier to say.
It is. At least that's what I learned from VeggieTales. Have you not seen that? They do like a whole Irish, like a St. Patrick special at one point, and like tell the story of St. Patrick. It's like on VeggieTales. It was, I think it was like one of the not like when they changed the animation, God forbid.
I probably have, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. It was my childhood, so.
We're also,
very distracted.
We're also recording this at 5:30 in the evening.
So
I am trying not to yawn. She's not boring me. I've just been up since 7 a.m.
She crazy. I slept till 12.
I tried to, but my husband's loud when he wakes up.
I just ignored my husband.
Sorry, that was a side note.
No, I'm so distracted too. So I'm everywhere because it is 5.
It's 5:30.
It's 5:30 and we're just now drinking our coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Anyway, so there's this Irish missionary who brought Christianity to Scotland. I can't even say that word. His name was Saint Columba, and apparently he went to face this beast who was terrorizing the people around the lake. Mm-hmm. But apparently he went to the River Ness, which connects to Loch Ness. Okay. But the story goes, he got there and Nessie, so I'm just going to call the beast Nessie, even though it was a creature, had already killed a person before. And it was apparently attacking a man when St. Columba came up. And so Columba invokes the name of God on this beast. And the beast...
Is Nessie a demon?
Yeah. He says, go back with all speed. And Nessie's
a demon.
Nessie's a demon. Yeah, he goes. Supposedly, the monster leaves. So that's the first recorded sighting of Nessie.
Yeah.
Or what they think, is Nessie. Mm-hmm. And we don't know how old Nessie is, so who knows?
That's another thing I was going to say too, but I feel like you're probably going to get to it, is the Loch Ness Monster the same Loch Ness Monster like from the original sightings?
Right.
Or is it like the offspring?
We'll kind of get into that with some possibilities later.
Okay.
But, so that's the first recorded, and there's not a lot like from like 565 AD, okay, to like 1500s, okay? There's not like anything really mentioned about this guy. And then from the 1500s to the 1800s, there's like 21 sightings about it. I don't have any details about them, but it's not a lot.
It's not, that's drastically low.
It's like, okay, there was this water beast, and during that time, mythology, all that sort of stuff, they're always seeing creatures and things like that. So probably thinking nothing of it, okay? I'm boring her so much,
You're not
guys.
boring me. I'm actually interested in the topic. I promise. I'm just tired.
Think of Nessie's cute face. Okay.
Is it cute or is it scary?
Oh, well, I mean, it just depends what interpretation you take. Now, all the like little things in Scotland are like really cute. Has like a cute little face. Or have you seen Waterhorse?
Yeah, I have.
It's pretty cute.
Yeah, that is pretty cute.
It has like the little. It's almost like a dragon.
It is.
So, I mean, I guess it depends what you think of it as.
I feel like if there actually is a Loch
cute.
Ness monster, it's going to be terrifying.
It is. Yes. I think that sea beasts in general and things like that are creepy.
Well, because they're all aliens.
Yeah. Except like killer whales are pretty, I think. Like orcas.
Sure.
You don't think they're pretty? Like the black and white ones?
Sure.
They're pretty. Dolphins are cute.
Dolphins are creepy.
Okay.
Seals?
Seals are adorable. Seals are adorable. We can agree on that.
They're terrifying, but they're so cute.
Yeah. Or like
it's like a lion.
Manatees
like
are cute.
Is that not a manatees? Is that the one?
The one with the duck? Oh, manatees look like seals. I was thinking of a platypus.
Oh.
Wrong one.
Bury the platypus.
Bury. I think they're all cute. Those. I don't think whales are cute.
I don't think whales are
except
cute either.
Orcas.
I feel like the sea lions and seals and stuff, they're adorable, but they're like lions in the sense of like, wow, they're so majestic. I can't touch them. They're like the forbidden kitty cat, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love lions too. They're so anyway, wow, we're really getting sidetracked, guys. So sorry.
So sorry.
Anyway, so we have the ancient stories, but nothing really comes about until the 1930s, okay? So 1933 is our year.
Jump.
It is a jump.
Okay.
And there's a reason for this because 1933 accelerates the modern theories of Nessie because they build a road around Loch Ness. So people are driving more around Loch Ness. There's travel.
So there's more.
People are around it more. Yeah.
Sightings.
Oh right.
Gosh, I'm so sorry.
We're just going to pause. No, just kidding. So the first sighting now in this year was by Aldi, her name, Mackie. She's a hotel manager, and her and her husband, I think, are driving along near the loch on the new road, and they see a whale-like creature.
Okay.
And so she tells the Inverness Courier, the newspaper there, the story. And so this is like the first original, like, official written, like, documentation. Okay. You know, we have Columbo, we have all this stuff, but this is like, oh, it's going in the newspaper because they saw this thing. And the newspaper, apparently, the editor put forth the suggestion to use the word monster as a description for the beast. So I don't know if she specifically used that or she was just like, I saw like a creature, like a whale-like creature.
And then they said monster.
Yes,
what you saw.
We're gonna publicize this.
Yeah.
Then same year, this guy named George Spicer.
He's spicy.
He's spicy. Along with his wife, they're also driving.
Okay.
Along, and they see a creature that passes in front of their car, which I think is so weird because apparently it's on land, so it goes across the road.
Well, I mean, the water. What is it? The water. What movie did you just say?
Waterhorse. Yeah, I guess it does.
The Waterhorse goes on land.
Yeah, she does. Forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it would depend what Nessie is.
Yes.
So if it has like, I guess like the flappers and like a seal,
yeah,
it could go across land because apparently I saw one that said like George said that it had like a lamb in its mouth. So maybe if it was looking for like
it was hungry
food, like there's not a lot in the loch right now, it goes out and it gets the lamb or whatever. That wasn't one thing I saw. I don't know if that's like official or not, but anyway, they say it looked like a dragon or a prehistoric monster, but it crosses the road and it goes back into the loch. Okay.
Oh.
So this is the same year, so they also report it to the same newspaper. So
okay.
This is like, oh, these are lots of Nessie sightings that's happening in the 1930s. Okay. So, but the real craze starts when this guy named Hugh Gray takes a photo of the beast. He's out for a walk with his dog, as you do on a Sunday.
Yes. As one does.
And apparently he sees it and he snaps this photo. He has like his Kodak camera. I don't know. It's 1934, so you can imagine that.
Yeah.
So those were 1933. This is 1934.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. So you can imagine. I have the photo for you of how it looks.
And we can post it.
Well, I have several photos. So this is the photo. Now,
It looks, what I'm looking at is it looks like a boat or a plane.
Yeah.
Like wing. It almost looks like a plane wing, but then like
it's like submerged.
In context, it could be like a boat that got flipped on its side.
Yeah, some people have like described like Nessie sightings like, oh, it was just a boat that was like turned over.
Yeah.
But people were like, after he like, I guess he also, I don't know if he put it, he had to have given it to the newspaper as well. I didn't write that down. I suppose he did. The photo got out there.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, this is just your dog catching a stick in the water. That's what, and then
nowhere in there, that was so loud. Nowhere in there does it look like there is a dog.
The photo is like messed up though. Like it's like obviously like very hard to tell what it is because it's an old
the 1930s
photo.
Of it all.
But then other people also said that's actually an otter, like on the surface of the water.
Nowhere in there is there an otter either.
It could be like maybe if it was like its back, just its back, maybe.
Like if it was face down,
right, like,
drowning itself.
It was like, well, they swim like that, but they usually have their heads like up, you know, in the water. Mm-hmm. But so I don't know. People don't believe him. Some people do. But this is like the first photo. Okay. That photo, that genuine photo you saw.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some other sightings. There was this guy. He was a veterinary student in 1934 who was riding his motorbike or motorcycle, I suppose. And he almost hit something in the road again. And he said it was a creature with a long neck, but it's like 1 a.m. in the morning, okay? And so he claims to have seen it, and he like draws a sketch of the animal, and he like makes it with like a long neck. And a zoologist tells him, "Oh, this just looks like a drawing of an otter." So like they're always like, "It's an otter. It's an otter."
So it's an otter.
But I'm like, okay.
So the Loch Ness monster is an otter.
But it can't be because like what people are seeing like is not, otters are not big. So I'm like, maybe how would you be driving like and obese. Almost hit it? Maybe it's an obese otter. I don't know. That's why I'm like, okay, a seal, that could be kind of bigger, but it is 1 a.m. And who knows? Maybe he was like drunk or something.
Maybe. Who knows?
But I was like, how could you mistake an otter for like a
monster?
A monster.
Monster.
Now I'm confused how to say it again.
Monster.
Yeah. So this all starts the Nessie frenzy, the Nessie mania, as they called it. Like, there was a big craze going on with Nessie. And apparently at one time the circus offered like 20,000 pounds to someone. Crap. Yeah, to someone who could capture Nessie.
Oh my gosh.
So the circus was looking for it too. They wanted this.
They were like, we want it.
Right.
To keep it alive, like as an act, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean,
okay.
I hope so.
I would hope.
Apparently Scotland has a plan in place now that if it is caught, that they would take it and do research and then release it back. That was so random. I was like, what in the world? I was watching this video and I don't remember all the details, but they were talking about like they actually have a plan for if they were to find Nessie.
If someone were to catch it, they would do research and then release it back.
Yeah, which is good.
That is nice.
Yeah, because it's obviously an endangered animal no matter what it is. Yeah, like, you know?
Even if it's just like a species that like is like very like rare. We don't know a lot about it.
Yeah. As we probably don't.
It's like we said, it's an alien. The mermaids brought it over.
An alien. All right, so the British newspapers become super interested in this whole
rightfully so
topic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they send people to Scotland to report on it, and they even hire this guy who is a big game hunter. So I guess like, I don't know, you know how they hunted elephants and horrible things like that. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming he's something like that, or like large game, like bears. I don't know, something like that. But he's also like a filmmaker apparently.
Oh, cute.
I don't know. His name is Marmaduke Wetherall. Marmaduke. I always find these people to have the best names, I swear.
Marmaduke.
Like
marmalade.
Marmalade, but with Duke on the end. Marmalade Duke. That's his name. They hired him to go hunt down Nessie. Okay. So he goes and he's around the loch and he's, I think, looking there for a few days and he finds these footprints. And so he's like, oh my gosh, this is the beast. And so
he found footprints, not fin prints.
Not fin prints, footprints.
Okay.
But I guess at this time, if you think it's some sort of, they don't know what it has, because if it is some sort of marine dinosaur, which they've proposed as well, like it could have like, you know, feet, but also be swimming, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. He finds footprints and apparently he thinks this could be Loch Ness because he doesn't recognize the footprints.
Yeah.
But he assumes from the size of the footprints that this thing is like 20 feet long.
Holy cow.
And I think that's usually how they like say about the size of Nessie is like 20 feet.
Okay.
Whatever. But he takes casts of the footprints as you do.
As one does.
And apparently the Daily Mail, which is a British newspaper, yes, in London, they publish an article with the title "Monster of Loch Ness is not legend but a fact" after he finds these.
Okay, interesting.
However, he has not sent them yet, I guess, because they went ahead and said this, and he sends them to a museum in London, where they do their thing. They look at the casts, and they're like, "Oh, these footprints belong to a hippopotamus."
Do they have hippos in Scotland?
No. No, that's the thing. They don't have hippopotamus in this area. I don't know if at Scotland at all.
Yeah.
But what they do have is that at that time, umbrella stands and ashtray stands were made from the foot of a hippo with like an ashtray or an umbrella thing in like inside the foot. Like, so it was a genuine hippo foot that they like stuffed in like, you know, like what is that word called? Taxidermy, like a taxidermied foot. It's so gross. And like we know now.
So they were just killing hippos for their feet?
Yeah, using it as
an ashtray?
Yeah, or umbrella stand. Isn't that awful? It's so disgusting. I can't even imagine.
What?
I know.
The heck?
I know, Felina.
Hannah.
I know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's so cruel. That's so bizarre. Of all the animals, you're going to... What?
And a dangerous animal, nonetheless.
Yeah.
And like one that is... well, now they're protected, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, now they are. I guess during that time, they like, you know, killed elephants too.
That's probably why they were protected.
Yeah. Yeah, because of the hunting that they did.
Because they were hunting them to turn them into their legs into ashtrays.
Why would you do that?
Who looks at a hippopotamus's leg and said, you know what that would make? That would make a good ashtray.
Yeah. Umbrella stand or whatever. Like, I don't understand.
Like, what?
I think that's disgusting and horrible and very sad. And why would you want that? That's what
Who is searching for this item on the dark web to buy?
And this is just the 1930s. That's not even 100 years ago.
So there's not even any web to search.
Nope. They're just buying these things.
It's just the black market. The literal black market.
Literally.
When it was literally a market.
But anyway, so they had these apparently as a common household thing. I don't know. Probably not common household.
Were they like... okay, question. Wait. Was it actually a hippopotamus foot, or was it a cast made from a hippopotamus?
No, it was a hippopotamus foot.
Why were they killing so many hippos?
Do you want to see one? I don't have it, but I don't know. Why were they eating mummies, Felina? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Why were they eating mummies?
It was a real...
That is a great question.
Yeah. No, it was a real foot. So supposedly someone... I don't know. We don't know if it was him. We don't know if it was someone else. Took this ashtray or umbrella stand with the hippopotamus foot and like put it in the like made prints in the ground.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Like no one knows.
What the heck?
Well, they don't know if he was being tricked by someone or if he was doing it himself.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm like, if he was doing it himself and he
wouldn't have sent out a cast for it.
He wouldn't have sent out a cast. But I also don't know who would have been trying to trick him.
Yeah.
Unless the Nessie craze mania was so big that they were just trying to...
It was probably just a bunch of teenagers having fun.
Messing around with someone. Yeah, let's go take this and put it in and someone will
people
find
will
it.
think it's Nessie.
Yeah. Yeah. So probably exactly what happened.
Yeah. 100%.
Anyways, so whatever the case, whether he did it, whether someone else did it, this makes the newspaper look bad because they literally were like, he found footprints and it's a fact.
And it's like, just kidding, it's a hippo ashtray.
Right. So they're angry with Marmaduke and they publicly say like, he sucks, you know, in so many words.
But like, they're the ones who printed it before it got confirmed. That's their fault.
So they say bad things about him. And since he looks bad in the public eye, he's like, I'm going to redeem myself. I'm going to
find it.
Right. Well, no, what he does is I don't know how long he waits. I think this was in 1933 and then he waited till 1934. Like, I don't know, it was a few months later or whatever. But he stages a picture of the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh boy.
With using a toy submarine, plastic and wood. So I think it was like his stepson or something. He was like, hey, can you make this for me? So they like took the toy submarine and they like put a piece of wood over it. And then they like shaped a head that was like a long little neck and then like a small little head. Like you see like the little snake-like head of Nessie. And they put it in the water, and he takes the photo. But because Marmaduke don't look too good to the public, he goes and has this doctor, Robert Kenneth Wilson, a surgeon, and he goes, hey, can you... I heard 2 stories. Like, he gave it to a friend who the friend gave to the doctor, but we're just going to say he gave it to the doctor.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, hold on. I'm confused. But gets it to this doctor somehow, and the doctor takes it to the newspaper, and since he's, like, respected and, like, you know, and reliable to the public because he's a doctor.
He's a doctor.
He's like, hey, I think this photo is authentic or whatever. I also read somewhere that he liked a good joke, so maybe he was just...
He was like, okay, let's do it.
He knew it was fake.
He knew, okay.
So there had to be a reason why he was like... Because he was also reliable and like a doctor, there had to be a reason, like maybe he just thought it was going to be funny. I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe he thought nobody was actually going to believe it.
Right, like no one's really actually going to believe this anyway, but I'll do it. And so he gives it to the newspaper, and so they, you know, publish it and all that. So this is like this is the photo you see everywhere. This is called the surgeon's photo. And this is the thing that like everywhere you look.
Yeah.
You've seen this photo.
It's literally like when you search Loch Ness Monster.
This comes up. So this is the surgeon's photo.
That looks awful small.
Exactly. And this is cropped in. So the photo, when you zoom out, you can tell like the thing is like 3 feet long, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, so they try to like push it in so it looks
bigger.
But yeah, it does kind of look small in general. But you just think, oh, it's so far away.
Right.
But at the same time, it's an old photo. So they couldn't have taken it that far away with getting that kind of like detail. Shape, you would think. So some people believe it. Some people are like, that is just a dolphin fin. I don't know if there are dolphin fins in Loch Ness, though. Are there dolphins in Loch Ness? I don't think so. It's a freshwater.
Yeah, but there's ways to connect it to the ocean, isn't there?
Yes. I said that, and then
I did hear that it is highly likely that the Loch Ness Monster was, in fact, a whale's member.
A whale's member?
Mm-hmm.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
Nuh-uh. Yeah. I was looking at her like, am I understanding?
A nail. Quote, member.
Okay.
Wink,
wink. Ew. So people are like, this is just like an elephant trunk. This is just a fin, like something. This is not. But lots of people believed it because at that time, if you're taking a photo, like I said, like even an article pointed out.
Photos were new. Photography was new. So it's like, this has to be real.
Yeah. It wasn't like right now. Like now they're talking about like they were making hoaxes then. Now think about AI and, you know, Photoshop and all this stuff that could happen now. So like if you can't rely on this in 1934, how can you rely on like what you see today as well?
Exactly.
So it's obviously a zoomed in photo, so it's already deceptive in that sense. But it was believed for a while that this was
the picture.
Yeah, this was the picture of Loch Ness until 1994, the year I was born, might I say.
That is also quite a jump.
Yes, it is.
30, because it's 34.
Yeah.
To 94.
So 60 years.
Wow.
But the guy Christian Sperling, who his stepfather is apparently Marmaduke.
Okay.
And he had helped with the hoax.
It was his submarine?
Yes.
Okay.
Or it was one of their submarines. It was one of the sons. I got confused. It might have been the other guy's submarine. But anyway, it's his brother, if not, or something like that.
Yeah.
But he, on his deathbed, admitted that it was a hoax and told people about like the submarine and stuff like that. So I'm sure, you know, his stepfather's already dead and all that. Yeah. And so he comes out and he just tells everyone. Clean. Yeah. Which lots of people knew
it was a hoax.
It was a hoax anyway. Yeah. But that was confirmation. So all that to say, so that was like the big craze. Now stuff is still going on, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the modern like research and then what Nessie could be. Mm-hmm. So they form in 1961 something called the Loch Ness Phenomena Investigation Bureau.
Oh.
Yeah, which is fun. But they pretty much are setting out to prove the validity of, you know, Nessie. And they use cameras with telescopic lenses. They have people out there, whatever. This organization also did like a sonar study. And they discovered that there was something in the lake.
Okay.
That like moved at the speed of 10 knots, which is I don't know.
I don't know what that.
I don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
But apparently it's fish don't typically move that fast. Okay. So there was something that they found. This bureau, I don't know how much research they did, but they like borrowed this technology from someone, and that research that they did is like there's something fast moving in the lake.
Yeah.
That's faster than a fish, but they don't know what. So that's pretty much all they come up with that one. And then in 1972 to 1975, there's like another series of sonar why do I feel like I'm saying that wrong now?
You're not.
I'm doubting everything. That like shows that there's like underwater objects that are like quite large, but there's nothing like, they can't prove anything because they were also like, in another sonar reading that they did, like you could have like logs or seals and that could like affect, bring forth false readings and stuff. So, and there was also another one called Deep Scan where they did that there's something in here that's bigger than the fish, like bigger than fish, but we don't know what, you know? So all that to say, there was another one that said, this is what we keep talking about. In 2001 and 2008, they did another reading where it showed organisms and carcasses that aren't typically found in a freshwater loch, which proposed the idea that it has a connection to the sea from the loch somewhere.
Gotcha.
And later, I did watch this video, which we'll talk about, like, how it's connected. But there's apparently, like, Loch Ness, and then there's the river, I think, Ness, and it goes up to this other bay, which then that bay feeds into, like, the North Sea.
Yeah.
So, like, through all these little ways.
Stuff could get in there.
Yeah, stuff could get in there. So they're like, okay, there could be things from the sea in this loch.
Yeah.
And then... So we have a 2014 Apple Map satellite image that people were like, oh my gosh, you can see the creature. Someone was just like scrolling along in the satellite, view. Yeah. And saw it and was like, this is a picture of Nessie. So I have it right here for you to see. It has like a body and fins. Now, as you know,
it looks like a whale or shark.
Well, first of all, yes, that could exactly be that, first of all. But then, everyone analyzed it, was like, this is, first of all, a composite photo because it's a satellite image.
Yeah, that's true. So it could be just something moving.
The wake of a boat. And you can't see the boat because when you take those photos, like the boat's moving so fast.
That it's not
caught in the camera. So lots of people see wakes of boats and things, and like, this is something moving in the water. And it's really just... And the guy who like analyzed it was like, you can see like the ghost shape almost of the boat because it was like moving.
Wait, let me see it again.
I don't know. I don't know if I can see it, but I think is that like there?
That is the shape of the boat. Yeah. Yeah, I see a boat now.
I wish you guys could all see these pictures.
We'll post them all.
One day in video format. But anyway, so a lot of this sort of thing happens, like where people just are like, oh my gosh. But you have to remember, these satellite images are composite. So you always have to remember that when you're looking at them. They're not going to be accurate. And then there was a scientist, Neil Gemmell, professor and scientist from New Zealand, my country that I want to go to.
Hey.
He did a monster hunt. It's like the cheese, like Munster cheese, like that's how I say it.
I know. That's why I was like, hold on, wait, I need to clarify.
I've been told this before too by someone
that you have to say
that
your
I say
O's weird.
Yeah,
or monster.
Well,
weird.
I say that I specifically say monster weird,
no.
but also that I say my O's weird.
Yeah, I know you say your O's weird.
It's my family. I blame them. My extended family. But he did a monster hunt in 2018, and he took like 250 water samples. Mm-hmm. Why are you laughing still? Girl, I'm just trying to live my life.
I wish you guys could see her after she realizes she says monster. The next couple times she says monster, she's really thinking about how to say it. She's like, a monster hunt.
Monster. I have to think of like opening my mouth really wide when I say the O. Monster. Monster. Anyway, he took 250 water samples.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, give us a moment, guys.
Okay, 250 water samples.
You don't take science seriously, Felina, and this is why I worry about you.
I do.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, so he takes the 250 water samples to test the DNA, or they call it the eDNA, which is like environmental DNA. That,
okay. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that before, yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know there was a difference. I thought it was just all DNA. Mm-hmm. But he found a lot of eel DNA. So they don't know how big, but they know that there are a lot of eels in
Loch Ness monster is an eel.
In Loch Ness. I've heard that, and that is one of the proposals, but they don't know how big an eel in this environment could get. Like, it could maybe, I don't know for sure how big an eel can get. Listen here, she has a mushroom pillow, a toadstool pillow, one might say, and she is putting it on her head.
Like a hat.
And I don't know what to do, guys. This podcast has been derailed.
It's gone out of control.
It's gone out of control.
It's got a little tail for the stem.
Speaking of out of control, though, you'll like this part because this guy, after he did this like research, he got like a lot of mail and emails about it. Like people were fascinated with it. They were so excited. He was doing like a new kind of like monster hunting.
Okay.
That used DNA to like possibly find it because I don't think they had done
cool.
that yet.
That's cool.
It is cool.
And what year is this?
2018. So, like, not
recently.
long ago. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm, like, surprised they haven't done that already.
Yeah, I feel like that technology has been around for a while.
Yeah, but I guess they hadn't done it yet. Like, people
who's
just
looking
aren't
for
as
monsters?
invested.
Yeah.
But, so he got all this, like, fan mail or whatever, but he got this one letter that I just thought it was so funny because he was like, this is my favorite letter that I've gotten about it. But apparently this letter, like, claimed to know all these, like, military secrets in Scotland or something. And, like, how it was part of the official secret acts, and he claimed that Loch Ness monster was like a camel in a wetsuit. The fact of just like imagining a camel in a wetsuit.
Well, it can't breathe underwater, and a shit cannot swim.
A camel in a wetsuit.
Can camels swim like that? Do they dive under the water to swim?
No. I don't know. Do camels swim, guys?
Let us know. Now I need to know if camels swim. Also, I completely just forgot what I was going to say as I was saying it. What did you just say?
I was talking about...
Oh, I remembered. Is the Loch Ness Scotland's Area 51?
Oh. Like everything disappears or goes into it, or...
No, that's Bermuda Triangle.
Oh.
The U.S. has Area 51, which has all the aliens and
all the
stuff.
alien
so
stuff.
You said government, conspiracies and stuff.
Like, this is where they conduct...
Is that their, like, Area 51?
But they can't because it's so open to the public. So it's not quite their...
Not if they're doing it all underground.
True. Under the lock.
In a submarine.
In a submarine. You think someone would have seen the submarine.
Well, but you said it's dark.
That's true. Yeah, it is.
If it's at the bottom.
Yeah, you can't see it. Maybe. Well, this guy had inside information.
Never know.
He had inside information.
That's true. That's true.
Apparently, the largest search in like 50 years happened literally last year, back in 2023.
Holy crap.
I know. It's still going on. And it was a group of, there were 100 participants, all volunteers who were like watching the lake. The whole time these people were going over it with like, they had like infrared cameras on drones. They had like, it's called like a hydrophone or something that they put in the water to like pick up noise.
Yeah.
And there was like 300 extra participants who were like watching the live stream of it. So they're all just like looking.
Goodness.
Yeah. They're all like looking for Nessie.
That's so many people.
Yeah. And it was called The Quest. And it like just happened last year, apparently. And I hadn't heard anything about it.
Yeah.
But
I've not heard anything.
The only thing that came from it.
Oh, no.
Was 4 weird sounds. Oh. And maybe some sightings that were not confirmed. However, they forgot to turn on the recording equipment. So I don't even think that they recorded the sounds.
Oh, no. What? How did, out of that many people?
And they had like this boat that was like called the Nessie Hunter. And I'm like, and you forgot to turn on your recording equipment devices? So we could hear the noises?
That was nobody live streaming being like, we can't hear
this, bro. Well, I don't know. Because I don't know if they were just like, I don't know if they were recording the sound or if that was just like they were watching the lake.
The lake, maybe.
But they found 4 possible weird sounds. Okay. Last year. So Nessie's there. But
okay.
After this like whole thing happened, this lady named Chi Kelly released a photo she had taken in 2018 that she didn't want to post because she didn't want to be like ridiculed.
Oh, you believe in the Loch Ness monster?
So apparently she was
crazy.
on. Yeah. That's why. And people do that all the time. So sometimes it's kind of like, oh, you just released this. That's kind of weird. Like it's 2023 and you've had it for 5 years. But apparently she was on vacation with her husband and daughter, and she was like taking pictures of them. Yeah. And they were like staying at the hotel there. And apparently she like looked out and she saw it in the water. And so she took these pictures. Now, okay, so there's like a series. So here's one of like it looks like a snake.
It does look like a snake, like and a large snake.
That looks like an alligator.
Wait, can I see that closer? Sorry.
Yes. These are the most convincing photos I've seen, in my opinion.
Well, and even the second one looks like rocks.
Like hump. on a back or something? Or
It
you
looks
think
like
it just looks like rocks?
if I just looked out and I saw that, I would think, oh, there's two rocks
But the third
next
one,
to each other. But the third one looks like a snake. Like it like the rocks almost rolled over and it's like a snake. The first one, I don't know if it looks like an alligator.
What do you think it looks like?
I don't know. It's so blurry. It's so hard to tell. It's so zoomed in.
That's the thing that gets me. Well, it's just like, I guess Sasquatch, but it's like, this isn't like clear enough. Or why didn't you take a video? Or like.
But the third video you wrote 20018.
What?
20018.
What year is that even? 2018?
Yeah.
2018, excuse me.
Sorry, I got distracted by that. But like the third one could almost be like two seals right next to each other, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
But it does
like holding hands.
Kind of look like a snake.
It does kind of look like two sealbacks, but it also looks like two snakes.
Mm-hmm.
And they
said a snake just like rolled up, like unraveling.
And they said it was moving. And I wish they had gotten a video.
Yeah, why didn't they get a video?
I don't know. And then there's this other photo by this guy named Steve Chalice that happened in 2020. And it's like this big... Now I'm just showing you photos. Sorry.
That is photoshopped.
Yes. Literally.
And it is a fish.
Someone was looking at it and this like marine biologist or whoever, I don't know, was analyzing it and saying that the way that it like moved, a mammal doesn't usually like, because it's not a fish apparently, because she's like, there's no this and this for a fish. It looks like a fish. I thought it was a fish. Yeah. But she was like, it looks like it would be a mammal. However, the way that it's like, you can tell it's fake because like the way that the wake is going, like when it broke the surface, is not like, it's not like eddies and ripples. It's like I don't know. She's like a boat or like it's something different. It's not how animals move in the water. It
legitimately looks like someone took a picture of a fish and they put it in a body of water and blew it up really big, like in Photoshop, and then put ripples on it. That's literally what it looks like.
Right. I agree. That one looks fake to me. But the one that she did, that's why I was like showing you both. I'm like, that one looks kind of
real.
And it doesn't look like just a fish or like something someone like just put in the water. You know, it looks kind of like.
Yeah, the one looks like a snake, but I have never seen a snake that large.
Right. In Scotland?
Especially not like a lake.
A water snake?
Yeah, like a water snake.
I don't know. That's why I was like, I don't know what that one is, but that was in 2018. But she just released it last year. So,
because of the hunt.
Mm-hmm. The Quest.
The Quest.
It was called.
Sorry.
That they didn't record the sounds.
The Quest. The failed quest is what it sounds like.
The failed quest. Anyway, so proposals, obviously. Plesiosaurs have been proposed, which are the aquatic dinosaur that is like, has the fins and like the long neck and it like lives underwater. But it went extinct with the other dinosaurs. And like people have pointed out that like, you don't keep like a hidden, like a predator from like 65 million, whatever, that would still be alive and we haven't noticed it or seen it yet, or like how did it keep alive in this kind of environment, and like it had to like freeze during an ice age and like on freeze, you know what I mean? So they were like, there's no way that this could be a dinosaur. So but people have proposed,
I feel like it could freeze and then unfreeze.
Yeah, or maybe if it went really deep in the ocean at some point.
Yeah. And it's living
and then
down
found its
deep,
way to Loch Ness.
And then it just kind of like...
Yeah.
And that would explain why there's not so many sightings all the time, because if there's a connection to the ocean, it could be like, oh, I'm in the ocean and now I'm back in here, and now I'm in the ocean and now I'm back in here.
Whenever he runs out of food or she runs out of food, they kind of go and travel, just like whales migrate and things like that. Anyway, they say probably not possible because it went extinct with other dinosaurs and la la la. But it is a water one, so I feel like...
Maybe it didn't go extinct.
Maybe. And apparently there's also a primitive whale with a snake-like neck that's called an archaeocite. I don't know how to say these words. But that's also thought to have been extinct for 18 million years.
Maybe it's not extinct, people. Did you ever think about that?
Maybe it's just living in the water because it's a primitive whale. That is like, whoa.
Maybe it's just really deep down in there.
I don't like these new whales. It just runs away.
These new guys suck.
But then obviously they say there's things called... I'm going to butcher this too. Seiches, they're like water phenomena and water surfaces that's caused by colder river water flowing into a warmer lake or loch, and it creates like oscillations on the water so it looks like an animal's moving through it. Didn't we see one of those like on the news, like where it was like it had like snow
it
on
looked
its
like
back.
a huge, but it was just
They thought it was like a rope or something, or it could have been like just the water and the ice or something.
They thought it was like, the lady videoed it because she was like, oh my gosh, it's this huge alligator or fish or something, and then it was like, actually no, it's just this.
They were like, we haven't seen an animal that has like snow just lying on its back. That's how usually you don't see like because they would move, like they don't just like let snow get.
They would move, but also I feel like their body temperature would warm it up.
That's true.
It would not. It would melt.
Yeah. But like lots of times, just like with the boat thing, like people mistake these water movements that just happen naturally as Nessie.
Yes.
Then it's been proposed, obviously, that it's gigantic eels. It's been proposed that back in the I don't know if it was just back in the 1930s, but yeah, when circuses were popular, they thought that they were just letting the elephants swim in the loch when they were going by, so that's what you see the little,
Yeah, because an elephant would just bury
dunk underwater.
Itself. Yeah.
They do kind of go in water, but I think they keep their head above. They
do.
Go under all the way and lift their trunk up?
I think they keep their head above. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of an elephant in
all
water.
The way submerged with its
completely submerged with just a trunk. I guess theoretically speaking, they could do that though, because that's how they breathe.
Yeah, it's like a little snorkel.
It is. I guess technically they could do that.
I just feel like they wouldn't.
Yeah,
I just feel like they wouldn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys know. I don't know. Obviously, it could be an unknown species, and there was this monster called the Stronsay beast. Okay.
The Stronsay beast.
Stronsay beast. It was a Scottish island, Stronsay.
Okay.
And it's 120 miles away from Loch Ness.
Okay.
So you go up the river, and there's another beach. You go up the river. There's the top of Scotland, and then there's like islands up there above Scotland. So a marine animal. This is 1808. Okay, washes up on shore.
Oh.
It's huge, and it's not identifiable. Like, it doesn't look like anything they've seen before.
Oh.
And lots of people come down, like lots of eyewitnesses come down and look at this thing. They have no idea what it is. It has supposedly a snake-like neck, like a serpentine, however you say that. Neck, and it is they measure it, I guess. It's like 55 feet long, which is way longer.
The neck alone?
No, sorry. The beast.
Oh, okay.
The neck is like 10 feet long.
Okay. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would be crazy. 55 feet is huge enough.
Yeah.
But it has 6 limbs, which that's unusual. 6 limbs. Yeah. That doesn't
So like 3 feet on either side.
Yeah. I guess so, like little flippers or whatever. They didn't say flippers, I don't think, in this case, but there was like 6 somethings coming off of him. But he had a small head with like seal-like eyes.
Okay. Which kind of, if you think about, I know it's a movie, but Waterhorse, it does kind of look like a seal in the face.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So this is Waterhorse. And he has gray skin, just like Waterhorse.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no photography at the time because it's 1808.
Yeah, it's the 1800s.
So you can't take pictures of it, obviously. But they know that people are not going to believe them. Mm-hmm. So all the witnesses who saw it take drawings of it. And we still have the drawings to this day. It's like a little, as you expect, almost like a little long dinosaur.
Yeah.
And then they all go to the capital. I guess, I don't know if it's Edinburgh at this time or something else. It didn't say, but they go to the capital and they swear before a magistrate that this is true, that they have all seen this thing.
Okay.
Now, they can't move the body because it's already decomposing and it's way too big. Yeah, it's like right on the seashore, so you know how quickly those things go.
Yeah.
But they take its skull and they take some of its vertebrae and take samples of it to go get it studied and stuff. The skull gets destroyed during World War II during the Blitz. So the skull they lose. So that's great. But then they send the vertebrae to a guy called John Barclay in Scotland, and he's whoever studies this kind of thing. And he concludes that it's an unknown species, or a new unknown species, or a new species. He doesn't know what it belongs to.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm hearing is the seals and the eels had the hanky-panky.
A seal. A seal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Yeah. And then they created this monster.
But they're saying that since this is only 120 miles from Loch Ness.
Yeah, and it could easily be.
Yeah, and because it's connected to the sea. Now they say, this is way bigger. This is twice the size of what anyone has reported Nessie being. However, this could be a smaller specimen. This could be a young specimen because salmon come from the sea, and they even migrate in Loch Ness when they're breeding, and then they swim back out to the sea. So they said, who's to say that whatever this animal was is also what Nessie is, and the reason why you don't see it all the time is because it's their breeding ground. They come there, they have the young, yeah,
and then they leave.
Once they have fed it and it goes away.
100%, that's what's happening. 100%.
Yeah. And like the salmon, as you know, like they go from like salt water to fresh water, I think. Yeah. Like they can just do that.
It's just water.
It's just a certain fish.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, these are all connected, and they eventually go to the North Sea. So they could easily move. And like we said, if the water's that dark, if they live deep underwater.
Yeah.
If they don't have to come up to surface.
Yeah, it could 100%.
Yeah. Now.
Loch Ness is real.
Loch Ness is real. And then I have 3 more little fun things for you, though, first. First of all, there's this guy named Steve Feltham. Feltham? That's his name. Feltham?
Okay.
I don't know. But he's been looking for the Loch Ness monster for 32 years, and he holds a Guinness World Records for like the longest
search,
like the longest vigil, because he literally has his like van on one of the beaches, and he sold his house. He left his girlfriend, like his long-term girlfriend,
oh my gosh,
and like quit his job to go do this.
How does he make money?
Well, he sells like handmade stuff to people, like tourists and things like that.
Oh my gosh.
Like, and like little like souvenirs and stuff. But yeah, and he lives in this van, and I was like, and it was funny.
That's wild to me. And that much of your life without any actual hard evidence.
Yeah, he's only had like one maybe sighting where he saw something like go through the water super fast, like a torpedo.
Okay, but that could be an eel, could it not?
Right, like to keep out there for like, 32 years, like with only one sighting. That is
in your van down by the river.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a beautiful place to live. Let me tell you, I've been to, like, there's lots of beaches.
Sure, but
on
like
Loch
you're
Ness,
homeless, basically.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
you're homeless. You only make enough money.
He's got a van
to feed yourself every now and then. After 32 years,
should I go like, hey Wes, I'm leaving you. I'm going monster hunting.
I'm leaving you to go hunt for the Loch Ness monster. Right. I'll see you when I find her.
Hey, you know. Whatever he like he said at the end of the article, he said, you know, just go live your dreams or something like that. Like,
and your dream is being homeless. Okay.
Yes. Okay. But he believes Nessie is a Wells catfish, which apparently can get pretty huge. But I'm like, you believe
he doesn't even think it's a monster. He thinks it's a catfish.
And you're out there
for 32 years. What is the average lifespan of a freaking catfish?
Yeah,
it's not 32 years.
Yeah. Why would you want to be out there for a catfish?
32 years for a catfish.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
She says as she's wearing the toadstool pillow on her head still.
It's comfort.
It's stylish.
Thank you. It's fashion.
But also, just so you know, if you guys want to look, there is a 24/7 live video of the loch hosted by Inverness and Loch Ness tourist site. And you can go on there and you can look at like 3 different parts of the lake. So you can just sit there and watch.
Simultaneously?
Yeah, they're like on the site. Yeah, you can kind of look at it.
What?
Yep, I went and looked at it. I didn't see it. I went last night and it was dark and there were just lots of bugs flying around. I was like, there it went. It like darted across the screen. I was like, that was it.
That was it.
You can't
I feel like you would see the eyes.
You can't see anything at night.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, do
like
aquatic?
Deers?
Yeah, but do aquatic animals have that?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Well, like when you go frog gigging.
I've never been frog gigging. What?
Yeah. You shine the flashlight and you see their eyes.
But frogs are amphibians.
They still so?
Okay.
Well, according to you, the Loch Ness monster went and they got a lamb and then they took it back. Okay,
that's true.
So
that's true. I didn't say according to me. That's George. George Spicer said that.
Good old spicy man.
And then one of my favorite facts, I'll end with. In 2016, they were doing a little search again, as they do. They say, I guess was it sonar again? I don't know. What is it when they see?
Yeah.
Whatever.
The radar.
Yeah. They sent a drone down and they see a shape of something that looks like Nessie's head and neck. And they're like, oh my gosh.
It's a log.
And so they go down and they get it. And I think they bring it back up. I'm not sure. But it is a prop from a Sherlock Holmes movie that was made in 1969 on Loch Ness. And apparently the director was like, I don't like the humps that it has on its back, how they had designed it. So they took them off, and because they took it off, it sunk because it couldn't float without like the humps on its back. So this thing just fell and has been there
ever since
1969.
That's hysterical.
I know. Sherlock Holmes movie.
That's so funny.
And they're like, oh my gosh, it's Nessie. And then they pull it up and it's a prop.
It's just a movie prop.
And it looks fake. I should have put a picture of this. Like,
you can tell it's a prop. But I
mean,
the
moment you see it,
I'm sure on the, oh no, my comfort hat.
Your comfort hat. Well, like on the sonar or whatever it's called, you can't tell.
You can't tell. You can just see the shape of it. Yeah. You can't see any detail.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's wild.
So
I cannot imagine how. Think about like the adrenaline rush they got when they saw that, and then they like pull it up, and it's like it's a prop,
and it's like a funny looking prop too because it's like from the 1960s. Where is
it? It's not that great. It's not good.
It's funny.
The camera quality wasn't that great. This
is the one from the actual movie, but that's not the one they found because
the one that they found sunk.
Yeah. Where was it? It was in a video that I watched. Oh, and apparently, Christopher Lee is in it.
And Christopher Lee is the guy from
Saruman.
Yeah.
Yes. So proud of you for knowing that. You know, he's the only person in the Lord of the Rings cast who actually met J.R.R. Tolkien.
Really? Mm-hmm. I would think all of them would have met them.
Well, no. I mean, Tolkien died in 1973.
Oh, I guess that is true. Yeah. In the movies.
Yeah. 2001.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, he wasn't even alive when the movies were made. So, but I think this might have been the original one. Is it? Oh, wait. I saw this image.
Oh.
Look how funny that one looks.
The lips. It's doing that duck face.
It's doing duck face.
It is she is beauty. She is grace.
It is terrifying.
It is.
But
it's
yeah.
Quite scary, actually.
So that was my favorite fact. I just think that's so funny that it was a movie prop. But yeah, so I don't know if you're convinced that something... I always say in a body of water...
Anything's possible.
Anything is
possible.
In a body of water.
If we're talking about a body of water, does something exist down in that body of water? Probably.
Heck yeah.
Most likely it does.
I bet there are giant eels too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I bet you it's an eel.
I bet it's an eel too. That's like... I thought that was like a popular one for a really long time. Like, oh, it's just a giant eel.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I don't know.
Well,
if you've seen the Loch Ness.
if you've seen the Loch Ness Monster, if you have any sightings, let us know. I mean, we'd love to see it.
I almost did.
It was a log.
Maybe.
Even if yours is just a log and you just want to tell us a story about how you thought you might have seen her, write into us. You can reach us at lattespodcast@gmail.com, or you can reach us on Facebook and Instagram at Lattes on My Mind.
It's so true.
It is. You can just get on there and be like, yo, I saw Nellie.
And if
Nessie.
Nellie? I saw Nellie.
Who's Nellie?
Nellie? You can go to the website, Inverness, Scotland, or Loch Ness tourist site. Inverness, spelled Inverness. Not a sponsor. I'm just promoting their site. You can go live watch parts of the loch if you want to try to see Nessie.
And then if you live watch it and you see her,
you got to screenshot it, and then you can scan the QR code.
Beautiful. If you have any other topics you would like to talk about, or if you just want to chat with us, absolutely still reach out. Don't forget that you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Audible, and YouTube.
Yep. And when you're out there looking for Nessie, do not use a hippopotamus foot.
Don't use a hippopotamus foot, and take a video and pictures.
Yes, don't just send us this grainy photo.
Don't just do the grainy zoomed in picture that where your hand shakes when you take the picture.
Out of context.
Yeah. Do better, people.